Okay, greetings everyone and welcome to the week 13 overview for our Read 960 course. I want to tell you before I go through this presentation that chapter 22 in Preston's book is the reason I picked the book for the course. I remember just being gobsmacked by the chapter. I sat and thought about it for a really long time, and I think this chapter just really blew me away. So I hope that you enjoy is an odd word to use this week, certainly because it connects to a lot of things that are going on right now. But I hope that you appreciate the events that Preston's going to talk about in chapter 22. I hope that the gravity sits on you in a way that really makes you stop and think and connect to current events and just think about it. So yeah, I'm going to go over what you have to do this week, but again, this week is going to, it's a lot. Okay, so first, here's your schedule. Remember, always look at this first. Print it out if you have a printer at home. That way you can check off things as you do them. We are here right now. You're listening to week 13. Know that there's a note-taking assignment that I'm going to go over. Then just one chapter to do a QQMS on this week. You're doing chapter 22, which again is a huge chapter, not necessarily in length as much as content. Then there's some close reading. There's a video to watch, a discussion board, a quest, all around chapter 22. And then there's a metacognitive reflection. Know that in our normal course, this would have been our last class before the second notebook check. So as you know, we're not doing notebook checks anymore because everything's online now. So instead, there's a metacognitive reflection that'll serve as a substitute for your second notebook check. So that's just a real general overview of the week. Let's get into some more detail. The first thing that you're going to need to do is take notes on smallpox. That is in your textbook. Here's a screenshot of the note-taking assignment, but as you can see in D2L, here is this document. You'll just need to click on it and read the directions. So in your textbook, you're looking at page 77, and then the section that you're going to stop reading, it ends on page 82. So it's just 5 pages that you're working on for this note-taking assignment. Know that that's enough. This is hard. So you're going to decide on a note-taking structure. I would look at the chapter first and make a decision based on what you're seeing. Remember, in class, we've gone over outlining, Cornell notes, SQ3R, and annotation for purpose. So you're going to pick one of these structures that you feel like helps you, and you are going to take notes using your chosen structure. Then there's a reflection on how did it go. The reason I'm asking you to reflect on this, we would have done an entire knowledge sorting assignment in class, and so this is taking the place of that. We learn in reflection, so it's important for you to think about how this went. This chapter is from a microbiology textbook, and the reason that that's a notable thing is because it might have been a long time since you took a biology course, and so a microbiology class would certainly follow a college level biology course. So if you haven't taken a biology course since high school, a lot of the cell jargon and different biological terms are going to be hard for you in this chapter, and that will certainly play in to how the notes went. So there's some things I want you to think about. There's a reflection. You're also summarizing what you learned, and then you're submitting your work. So your work then is going to include your notes, the reflection, the summary. So make sure you're following all the steps in this process, and then you will submit your work to the smallpox notes assignment folder. Okay, next comes the work in chapter 22, which is really where you're going to spend most of your time this week. The first thing to do is to read and QQMS chapter 22. Then you're going to watch a video called They Came to Wither the Flowers. This is one of my favorite things we do of the whole semester. And ordinarily in class, this is a script that I read from in the video, but know that I would have cut it up and assigned each of you a speaking role, and we would have done a dramatic reading of the content in this video. Know that all of the quotes came directly from chapter 22, but there's a lot of visual imagery here to show you too. Please note that some of the visual images in this presentation are hard to look at. They are disturbing, so please make sure you're ready and prepared for that. If you need to look away and only listen to the words, then I understand that, because the visual add a level of realism that makes this really hard to process and to understand. Next, you're going to do a discussion board. Now remember, if you look back on the assignment sheets, the way we run discussion boards is that you have an initial post due on Wednesday. So Wednesday at 11:30, you must have posted your initial post in the discussion board, okay? Then on Friday, you're going to go back and you're going to reply to your classmates. All right, if I let everyone have till Friday, then no one would be posting till then, and then it'd be much harder to have a discussion. So again, initial posts are due Wednesday night at 11:30. Replies are due on Friday. I go in Thursday morning and grade you on your initial post. So please know that if you're late, you don't get credit. All right, then you're going to do a quest on chapter 22. And that this is due on Friday. It's contract grading applies here, so please know that you need to do either 1 question for a C, 2 for a B, or 3 for an A. Okay, so again, this is all of the work around chapter 22, a QQMS, the video, discussion board, a quest, and your discussion board replies. All right. Then next, again, I told you in the beginning of this video that we would have had our second Reader's Notebook conference at this point. And so in place of that, there is a metacognitive reflection that you will do instead. Here is the document that you can see kind of screenshotted here. It's out of 100 points, so that means take it seriously, and then you will turn it in here. That's all for week 13. Again, this is a big week because this is kind of the climax of the book. This is where everything should kind of start making sense to you about what happened to T1. And of course, it was a horrible fate that they met, and you're going to learn a lot about that, as well as the suffering of most of the indigenous people of Central America with the arrival of Columbus. So please reach out to me with any questions. I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great week.